Looking for a helper for your hamburger? Well, homemade is the way to go.
Savory, cheesy, and so much better than that box.
Serve this up for an easy weeknight dinner.
Every bite is instantly a family favorite.
It is, I tell you. All right, we're going to get going on this.
It's my favorite.
It is. It's so easy. So I've got a nice large skillet here. We are doing homemade hamburger helper, and I am thrilled about it.
And we've been making this for years, and I'm like, Chris, why don't you ever just put this on the blog?
Okay, so what I've added in here was a tablespoon of unsalted butter. I've got a nice large skillet, and then I've got some onions. I did about a quarter cup of onions. If you hate onions, you can just skip this step. This is so easy to adapt to what you have on hand. Pretty much everything I'm pretty certain you're gonna have in your pantry. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk beef. Because it is Hamburger Helper.
It is.
And so, well, homemade Hamburger Helper.
Yes.
So I've got a pound of, I think you can go either 85 or 95%. I think this is 95%.
It's not 95, it's 85.
85.
Yeah, that would be really.
I listen partially.
Yeah, well, partially. Boy, that's on a good day. So now we've got a pound of this. Like he said, it's not 95. It's 85% ground beef. 85 is going to render a little more grease, and there's some flavor in that grease, but you're probably going to want to drain it off. So people always say, we hear this so much because we do this for like a living, that like you guys must just always eat just fancy food, homemade fancy food. We do get to eat a lot of good food that we make,
yeah.
but
sometimes I'm like, wait till you see the cameras are off.
Oh, I know. I mean, I am all for a box of macaroni and cheese. Don't get us wrong. We are not highfalutin that way at all.
Right.
But you know what? Homemade is so good. This is so easy, and I'm telling you, when we serve this, we have the kids come over and they just flip for it. So anyway, we're gonna cook this until it's no longer pink, and then it's a piece of cake. It's a piece of Hamburger Helper. Okay, moving right along. This is such a simple, I mean, it's so much better, like we said, better than the box, but it's so easy.
I love it, and I don't feel the need to come into the kitchen and help him because it's simple.
Yeah. Well, when did that ever start? Anyway, I'm kidding. You do help. So we've got 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and then we've got about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and I'm gonna turn my my heat up a little bit. Now we're gonna add some seasonings. Again,
this is where it all comes together.
Well, it is, but you can also, this is one of those things, if you've got last minute, you need to make something, just pull what you've got out of the pantry. These are what I like to use. I think this makes that classic Hamburger Helper flavor. This is just regular paprika, chili powder is really flavorful, ground ground mustard, and then garlic powder.
So good. I told him to add that chili powder a little while back.
He did, and that was 1 teaspoon of each of those, and it was the missing link, I tell you. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to cook that, and this is what I like to say. It lets those spices just blossom a little bit. It lets the flavors kind of infuse with the meat. Yeah, it's so yummy.
This totally. We've made this through the years. So many versions.
Both varieties, the boxed and the homemade.
Yeah.
This is a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is from just a small can of tomato sauce, an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Just keep stirring that up.
Wow.
And then we're going to add. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of our Slam and Sloppy Joes.
Oh yes.
This is 2 cups of beef broth or beef stock, whatever you have on hand. You can also just use water. That will work too. But if you're going to really want to go for maximum flavor, then try and use some beef broth. You could use chicken broth or stock. And this is 2 cups of cream. You could use milk. We're going with half and half, which is half heavy cream and half milk, just for a little more of a luxurious flavor. But again, milk works just fine. If you really want to go extra creamy, you could do heavy cream. That would be delicious too. It'd be a little more calorie filled.
It'd be a little heavier.
A little heavier. That's why they call it heavy cream. Anyway, isn't that beautiful? And
gorgeous.
Now it's really.
Are you ready for these elbow macaroni?
Yeah, give me some elbow. Give me some elbow room.
I love using elbow. You could use obviously other pasta.
Yeah, short pastas.
But this is quintessential Hamburger Helper, right?
Yeah. This is 2 cups.
Quintessential.
Quintessential. And that, folks, I mean, really, that's the brunt of the work right there. We're gonna add some cheese.
I'm so exhausted.
I know, it's really exhausting. But that's why it's so perfect for a weeknight meal. You can throw this together so quickly. So now we're gonna let this
And it's one pot. It's
a one-pot wonder. I mean, it's the ultimate one-pot wonder. And you don't even have to throw away a box.
No.
Anyway, we're going to let this come
Although you could use it to look at the eclipse. Never mind.
The box. Yes, that's true. You could. That's the only downfall of making it from scratch. So anyway, we're going to let this come to a simmer until that those noodles get nice and soft. I'm going to probably cover it. That only takes about 10 minutes, and then
we add some
finish off some cheese, and then we eat. Isn't that beautiful?
That is. Oh,
so great.
now it just needs a little cheese.
Everything's a little better with cheese. So I said put your lid on it. Just be careful when you put your lid. Depends on how hot. This baby gets really heats up the skillet because that pasta can stick to the bottom, and you don't want that to happen. If it does, you need to pry it up. So actually, you can just leave the lid off. That's what I ended up doing, and let it go for like 10 minutes.
Yay.
And it makes this beautiful sauce. Now we've got a cup. I shredded some Colby Jack. What I would love to do. Now this is the only thing that you're going to say. Well, do I really have to do that? No, but I like to get a block of whatever cheese I'm using: cheddar, Colby Jack, Monterey Jack, and shred it yourself, because the shredded package is perfectly fine, but they put like a non-caking additive in there, which is it's not harmful to your health, but it doesn't make it as melty and as creamy and as luscious. But so you can do
what you didn't know.
The things you learn.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now I just like to add another little layer of cheese on top.
Yeah, like a little pocket of it.
A little pocket of it right there, and we're gonna let this now I'm definitely gonna cover it and just let this sort of like all these flavors
melt.
Let the cheese melt, let those flavors, it'll continue to thicken just a little bit for about 5 minutes, and then it's time to call the kids and then dig in. Okay, kids are here, it's time to eat. Let's do the big reveal and get ready for some oohs and ahs. Ooh.
I love that pile of melted cheese.
I know,
right there.
I know. It adds a lip. If you, I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Now, if you wanted to get really fancy, it's homemade hamburger helper, so why not add a little green? When you're serving this to guests for a dinner.
So good, you guys. Oh, look at that cheese.
It's just fabulous. Let's get this nice.
Oh, I am dying.
I know.
I am dying. Okay. Here, come on, give me some love.
I'm going to give you a helping of hamburger.
Oh, a little more, please. Thank you.
This serves a family of 4 easily. Let me tell you, it's so good heated up the next day. I'm telling you, well, you're hungry.
It is lunchtime.
You're a growing boy.
Yeah.
You heat this up the next day if you have leftovers. In the rare event that you have leftovers, add a little more cream or broth.
You guys, and that is just hold on, let me get rid of my fork.
Deliciousness in a bowl.
There you go.
Because even though it's hamburger helper, we have to make it pretty.
You have to make it pretty.
I know.
There we go.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Fork,
please. Okay.
Y'all.
We let it sit.
Good thing this is hamburger helper, not Wesley helper, because I didn't help at all.
Yes, you did. You can also, on that point, you can also use ground turkey to make it a little healthier, ground chicken.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be great. Isn't it amazing?
It really is. It's hands down, y'all.
It's so.
Oh, this reminds me of the village. Oh.
I know. We used to, when we were like broke and living in the village back in the day.
You'd do like a mashup of Chef Boyardee,
canned Chef Boyardee,
hamburger,
ground hamburger, and cheese,
and then like make a casserole.
And we were in heaven. Oh my goodness, that is so good. The kids will love this.
I'm gonna snarf this down like nobody's business.
I know.
Y'all, this I think it's 500,000% Loon approved.
Wow.
It's just simple and tasty.
It really appeals to the child in all of us. It's just so good.
It certainly does.
It really does. All right, you guys, make hamburger helper from scratch. And why not?
Throw away the box.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. We love you.
I'm gonna keep on eating.